Hi, and welcome to the Digital Freedom Coach podcast with me, Erik Olsson. Here, we go in depth and talk about how you can use digital tools to create more freedom in your life. Are you, as me, curious about how you can work remotely, how you can build a business online, and what it actually takes to create the life of your dreams? Then this is the podcast for you. For more info on what we do, check out thedigitalfreedomcoach.com. Are you really ready? Today I want to share something quite impactful, something I think you need to hear. So the other day I was coaching and mentoring one of our business partners, and he actually shared this and I connected the dots. So he talked about freedom, how he wanted to create the life of his dreams, and how we actually do this together is to build a business. And he talked about, the freedom, and this is the Digital Freedom Coach podcast. And then he talked about discipline. Okay, so I need discipline, I need to do this and that, and I have a schedule and so on, right? But he needed more discipline, okay? And I hear this quite often. I work with very ambitious and driven people all over the world, and often they face like similar challenges. We are all human beings and we kind of work in the same way, and to some extent we are very predictable as well. So we sometimes we aim high and we have a certain goal, and we kind of end up in a situation where we put in the hours in our schedule, like we plan those hours, but we don't do them, right? Because other things are coming up. It can be, anything from like the simplest thing, like the everyday ordinary stuff, like taking out the garbage, doing the dishes, to I need to attend like another meeting, I have my regular job, anything. And so something is kind of lacking. So he talked about freedom and discipline, and then as I've been studying this, I said, okay, you know what? Discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. So where did I get this from, and what does that mean? So I will actually read something to you, and if you're watching the YouTube clip here, you can see the book I have as well. But if you're listening, this is from by Jocko Willink. Okay, so Discipline Equals Freedom Field Manual. So check out Jocko Willink. He's kind of this Navy SEAL guy, army guy, who's into business building and fitness and health and everything. And I'm not sure if he coined it, but he wrote the book about it, Discipline Equals Freedom. So I will just read the first 2 pages. It's a very short paragraph. So, the way of discipline. People look for the shortcut, the hack. And if you came here looking for that, you won't find it. The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. And if you want to take the easy road, it won't. It won't take you to where you want to be. Stronger, smarter, faster, healthier, better, free. To reach goals and overcome obstacles and become the best version of you possible will not happen by itself. It will not happen cutting corners, taking shortcuts, or looking for the easy way. There is no easy way. There is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline. Discipline. There must be discipline. Discipline, the root of all good qualities, the driver of daily execution. The core principle that overcomes laziness and lethargy and excuses. Discipline defeats the infinite excuses that say, not today, not now, I need a rest, I will do it tomorrow. What's the hack? How do you become stronger, smarter, faster, healthier? How do you become better? How do you achieve true freedom? There is only one way. The Way of Discipline. And that's by Jocko Willink. And I very much agree. I highly agree. There is no other way. Whatever you want to achieve in life, you have to work for it, you know. And if you check this paragraph, I love this paragraph. So most people are looking for a shortcut. Most people are thinking, you know, if I invest in these stocks, in these shares, they will, you know, rise and I will gain so and so much money. Or if I buy, you know, I invest in cryptocurrencies, whatever, and you know they rise in value, I won't have to work again. Kind of they invest their money, not necessarily their time and effort into doing the research about what it's all about, or they give up trying, right? So there is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline. Discipline, my dear listener, discipline. As you know, I'm into network marketing, for instance, leverage sales. And for a few, like, there are people out there thinking that is sort of a shortcut thing to success, to gain financial freedom and everything. Often that is a result of not being informed properly, of not having the correct information, or not knowing what they have actually met, what they are actually talking about. And I think that is often the case. If you face a new opportunity, it can be like, it doesn't have to be network marketing, it can be something else, whatever, and as you're not familiar with it, you kind of brand it yourself as that is not possible, people cannot do that, it's not achievable. So you go back into, you know, your daily routine, like how you are anyway, like your regular 9-to-5 job and those things. Like you kind of disregard opportunities because it seems too good to be true. So it cannot be, so you close your eyes and do something different, right? And that can be in any area. So often in network marketing, people think, you know, it's an easy way to gain money, and it can't be true, you're fooling people, whatever. That is not true. That is a field which demands, it takes energy, effort, study, sweat, maybe even, blood, actually, in this case. As I work with test-based nutrition, where we prick each other's finger, it actually takes blood as well. Toil, frustration. It's challenging. It's challenging, but you know, after all, my dear listener, if you want to achieve something in life, you have to work for it, you know? There are no shortcuts. You have to work for it. Step by step, obviously. What else are you supposed to do? You live once. Like, okay, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you don't grow, if you don't aim high, if you aren't bold, if you aren't courageous, if you don't go for what you really want in life, and that might be, you know, that relationship, that cash flow bill, living in that part of the country, living abroad, having a house close to the beach, whatever, that often takes money. Money equals freedom. Yeah, I said it. Money equals freedom. Money is a good thing. So if you're not working for those things, when are you supposed to do it? When you're dead? I'm sorry, like, maybe you believe in the afterlife, that's okay. But, you know, what we know of, this is it. This is it. There is nothing else. This is it. There's not even a future, because it hasn't happened yet. We don't have the past, because we're not living in the past. We only have the present moment, right? And in the present moment, how do you create that future which is not existing yet? It's by discipline. So what does discipline actually mean? Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so what does discipline actually mean? Okay, anyone can have discipline, but how do you put that into action? How do you live a disciplined life? How do you, what is it? Okay, so I argue that discipline is being your own boss, basically, right? So say you have a goal and you have an idea of how to achieve that goal, okay, then you have to dominate yourself. I mean, dominate yourself with certain flexibility, of course. Sometimes we have our ups and sometimes we have our lows. Okay? And that is fine, because that is life. Sometimes we have less energy and then we can do less. We can take less action, but we do some action. Okay? And that action can also be recovery. But why aim for the lowest minimum level of activity, you know? Why not aim for the highest level of activity? Why not aim for the, you know, the sky? The sky is the limit. I'm not sure if the sky is the limit. Maybe it's just space. There is no limit. It's like in the business I'm building, or the business you are building, there is no roof. Often, if you want to achieve, you know, financial freedom, for instance, you have a regular 9-to-5 job. In a regular 9-to-5 job, you have basically two ways of earning an income. You have your salary, and maybe if you're into sales, you have a bonus. In the field I'm working with, I have at least 10 different ways of earning an extra income. Okay. But back to the point. What is discipline? What does it mean? So discipline is about dominating yourself. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so if you want to achieve a certain goal, you have to sit down, you have to use pen and paper or a computer, whatever you want, and you have to write down those goals. If it's not on paper, I'm sorry, I don't believe you, my dear listener. I'm afraid you don't have goals. Tough, maybe. But I'm thinking about my goals, you might say. I'm have it in my head. I have these thoughts. Yeah, sure, but if you don't have it on paper, you don't have a goal. Have you ever, you know, heard about a business that hasn't written down what they are supposed to achieve? It does not exist. So pen and paper, write down your goals, and when you have your goals and your vision, you know what you want to achieve, you know where you want to go. Okay, now it's time to do the planning, the daily action steps. Okay, so what are the daily action steps? It can be making X amount of phone calls, reaching out to certain amount of people, sending messages, text messages, setting up, I don't know, like that website, you know, study that course, doing that online membership course setup, whatever, right? It can be going to do sports, fitness, health. You know, remember, I'm also talking about in the podcast that your health matters if you want to build a business. That's highly important. Health is an integral part of building any business. But then, okay, so you are setting the schedule, and then I advocated to open, for instance, Google Calendar, or if you have another calendar, I use Google Calendar every day. And in Google Calendar, you write down what you're supposed to do every single day. And in Google Calendar, you also write down the time you save or spare that is dedicated to family, friends, recovery, rest, spending time with your hobby, whatever. Because those are also integral part, highly important part of your work, of your business building. You need those parts in order to live a life with more harmony, you know, and balance, obviously. But the thing that will increase your cash flow, your core business, that is, you know, detrimental. That is highly important. That is where you need to put your energy and focus, because that is what will allow you to live that dream life you have always dreamt about. So open that Google Calendar, start to write down exactly when you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. And here comes the discipline. Because you see, doing all of those things, you know, the planning and the, you know, maybe a vision statement and a vision board and, you know, planning in your fitness routine and all of those things, that's the easy part. Might take time. Maybe it goes fast. Maybe you know what you want to do. Maybe it takes like half an hour, or maybe it takes a month. I don't know. The tough part is actually when you in the morning, it's Monday, it's 8 a.m., you open your Google Calendar and it says 8 a.m., I'm supposed to reach out to 10 people. I'm supposed to do these calls. I'm supposed to set up this website. That's when discipline comes in. That is when discipline comes in, my dear listener. And the challenge being, especially in the beginning, but most likely throughout your business career, other things will pop up. You will get an email, like, you have this kind of on the computer, like notifications or something, like, oh, you got an email. Or the phone, you want to check Messenger or your Facebook profile, or you realize, oh, I need to take out the garbage, or maybe I should have something to eat, maybe breakfast, maybe I should take another coffee, or I should read this thing, or didn't my friend send me a text message yesterday, I should check that out, or maybe I should take this course, or maybe I should just go for a walk before I actually work. I actually have another episode as well about the constant chatter in your head, and check out that one as well. It's a great episode. So it's episode 9. Are you listening to the chatter in your head? Because that is what is going on constantly, right? So the discipline here is to actually disregard all of those things and take that hour which you have booked for yourself when you dominate yourself, and you put in the effort to do what you're supposed to do. That is detrimental. That is what makes the difference. That is the big change. That is the impact you can make, okay? So imagine you don't do that. Imagine, okay, I was supposed to do this thing and I didn't, and I did all of those things, and at the end of the day, it was kind of an okay day. I didn't actually do what I set out to do, but it was an okay day. Okay, but think about it long term then, my dear listener. John or Julia or Henry, wherever you live in the world. Imagine maybe tomorrow it's Tuesday and you do the same thing. And on Wednesday you do the same thing. You postpone the things you need to do. Maybe it's fear creeping up, okay? But by not taking action, what are the results you're postponing? What are the goals you're postponing? Maybe by postponing the activity I aim to do today by one day, I'm postponing all of those results I'm hoping to achieve with 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe a decade. Because we never know what will happen tomorrow, something might show up and we have to kind of take our path, like our business in a different trajectory, or do some sort of an action in order to kind of steer so we have a clear path towards our goals. Like, things are happening all the time, and that is why we also need flexibility in our business. But by postponing the activity we're supposed to do by 1 day, we might be postponing achieving our results with a year or more. Okay, so that is discipline. You need discipline, my friend. So I'm actually asking you in this podcast, what are your goals? Do you have discipline? Are you dominating yourself? Are you dominating your schedule? Are you putting in the effort, the time and resource you need in order to reach your results? And if you heard my previous podcast, episode 19, please don't come with excuses. Please don't say you don't have time or energy or money. That is not interesting. You have to take responsibility of your own goals. Okay. So what I want you to do, my dear listener, I'm here to support you, coach, and mentor you. Okay. You will always have my support. I will always believe in you, no matter what you do. So what are your goals? Have you set your own schedule? When do you put in the action you need in order to achieve your goals? Do you have a structure? That is your action step. After listening to this podcast, or maybe even better yet, push pause and do that now, okay? Don't even listen to the rest of my podcast here. Do that, please do that. And if you're not, do it after the podcast, okay? So what I see as a coach and a mentor in health and in business building, I see this all the time. I see people jump on board onto something. They want to have a certain result, and then maybe at the beginning, halfway in, or when they almost achieve it, they jump off board. They give up. They take a pause. They take a break. And they claim it's lack of time, energy, money, or something. Maybe it's just a lack of priorities. I mean, and I believe this can be hard to hear, like what I'm actually sharing now, okay? But again, I mean, what are you supposed to do in life? You need to make priorities. Like, ideally, you shouldn't have a life which is too busy. If it's too busy, it's a lack of priorities. That's it. You have to carve out time in your life to put that time into those things that matter in order to achieve those results you're aiming for. Okay, that's it. In our team and in the team we are building all over the world, we are now these days very, very careful with who we let into the team to be a part of our growing, expanding business team. And we are here to coach and mentor people, driven people, ambitious people that want to aim high, be bold, and dare to dream. But we only welcome people that are serious about change, that are serious about it, you know. Time is limited. You are not. Time is limited. You are not. So we have to put in the time with the people that are serious about change. So with that, I hope you got some value. Discipline Equals Freedom. Check out Jocko Willink, the book Discipline Equals Freedom. It's a great book. It's a good read. And stay powerful, be courageous, aim high. I believe in you, and go for it. Go for it, go for it, go for it. Talk soon. Bye-bye.